I'm getting avocado toast. Are there any orders? I'm getting avocado toast. Are there any orders? Thank you. No responses. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Theater Box San Diego. Today, Legion M and Theater Box San Diego are proud to honor William Shatner with this hand and footprint ceremony in the esteemed tradition of the TCL Chinese Theater in Hollywood. The time-honored tradition of placing handprints in the cement began 95 years ago when silent film star Norma Talmadge accidentally stepped in wet cement in the courtyard of the theater. It has gone on to become the longest-running awards tradition in Hollywood, honoring more than 300 actors, directors, and producers. This morning, we are thrilled to celebrate the announced documentary produced by Legion M about Mr. Shatner and his career, by immortalizing in wet cement right here at Theater Box San Diego. To get things started, please welcome the co-founder and CEO of Legion M, Paul Scanlon.
Well, welcome again. I'm Paul Scanlon. I'm co-founder and CEO of Legion M, and I couldn't be more proud to be here. For those that don't know, Legion M, we're the world's first fan-owned entertainment company. What that means is we're literally owned by entertainment fans. And we have a fast-growing, vibrant, engaged community that guide us and support us, and we're so grateful to them. We have over 150,000 people in our community. We have over 35,000 investors. We're so grateful for William Shatner, to join our advisory board and to be doing this documentary with Bill. And what better way to kick off Comic-Con 2022 by a historic moment where we will immortalize William Shatner in cement. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce actor and comedian Steve Glickman, and he's our master of ceremonies. Thank you for coming today.
Good morning, San Diego! Today we are gathered to honor an icon, a legend, and recently a real-life astronaut. Welcome to the Theater Box handprint ceremony for the one and only William Shatner.
We've already applauded.
My name is Stephen Kramer Glickman, and I am honored to be emceeing this incredible event. Bill Shatner, I call him Bill, we are best friends.
No, call me William. Actually, if you said Mr. Shatner, they would be.
Wow. Getting up to a
Bill.
great start. Bill, Mr. Shatner, we are actually very similar, you and I. We are both actors. You, of course, have 2 Primetime Emmy Awards. I have half a Kids' Choice Award, but that's still something.
That means you can call me Billy.
We are both Canadian Jewish men from Côte St. Luc. That is also
Are you
true.
from Côte St. Luc?
I am also Cavendish Mall. You better believe it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, you bet. Gotta love Montreal. It's an honor to be here, to be doing this. We have a wonderful round of people to be bringing up to you today. So before we bring up the Denny Crane to the stage, we have some very special guests. Our first guest is one of the greatest film critics in history, having been on Entertainment Tonight for 30 years. He is also the man who once got into a knife fight with Gene Shalit. Please welcome my dear friend and the co-host of Malton on Movies, my dear wonderful friend Leonard Malton, everybody!
Good morning, Mr. Shatner. Good morning, Leonard.
Hi, everybody. This is cool. definition of cool. Now, we all know Mr. Shatner is a Broadway star, a Shakespearean performer, an equestrian, an author, a recording artist, an astronaut, among many, many other credentials. But I want to just take a moment to tell you about two experiences I had listening to him and watching him in a medium that nobody ever talks about anymore, radio. He performed with Sean Astin and a wonderful supporting cast in a production of Ray Bradbury's Leviathan 99 under the direction of radio's greatest dramatist, Norman Corwin. And yes, it's available. Look online and find it. It's really good. And then back in 1997, Mark and Brian, who used to be the morning guys on KLOS Radio, produced a recreation of Orson Welles' notorious War of the Worlds broadcast based on the H.G. Wells story. Who did star? William Shatner. I had a bit part as a radio announcer. I wasn't very good. He was great. And there is an art, a technique to radio acting. It doesn't just happen. Not every actor is automatically good. Acting without being able to use their face, without being able to use body language and gestures. He acquired that art. And if you don't believe me, look on YouTube, you can find that performance. It just says William Shatner is the complete actor. He can do anything. And anything he puts his mind to.
Windows as well.
Whatever he does, you know he's going to do it well. And that's why we love him, and we remember him, and we want to honor him today. And I'm very, very pleased we've got to say a few words. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Another applause for Leonard Maltin, everyone. Carrying the mantle of Captain Kirk is something that holds a great deal of responsibility. Our next guest currently plays Captain James T. Kirk on Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. Please welcome to the stage the only actor that should be starring in T.J. Hooker: The Early Years, Paul Wesley.
Hi, everyone. All right, so I'll start this off. How do you replace a legend? Well, you don't. It's simply not possible. And why would you try? Instead, you promise to safeguard the legacy entrusted to you. And then you go out and do the work. You find some way to make the role your own while honoring the history that it carries. Precious few roles in television and film present such a daunting challenge. But one of them is certainly Star Trek's James T. Kirk. This character's place in entertainment history is indelible. It's a fixed moment in our collective memories. No matter where you go, no matter where you are, an image of Captain Kirk brings instant recognition. Why is that? Because for nearly 60 years, that role has been personified by a man of equally renowned stature, Mr. William Shatner. Attempting to recreate an iconic screen role is a tall order. You're following in the footsteps of gifted actors who blaze the trail you now walk. But to simply tread where they've already been does no justice to the role or those who inhabited it before you. Actors who took the words written on the page and embodied them with everything they possess as artists. You're expected to do nothing less, and in fact, you're expected to bring something more, something previously unseen, and perhaps something unexpected, while at the same time paying homage to those from whom you've taken the mantle. Now that is a tough gig on any normal day, but for a day on Star Trek, where you've been asked to take on the role of Captain Kirk, it is both the challenge and the opportunity of a lifetime. And I can't imagine taking on such a character and everything it means to the countless fans without having the support of the man who first brought him to life. Well, thankfully, Bill, or Mr. Shatner, the original captain himself, went out of his way to make a newcomer like me feel welcome, and for that,
I will forever feel grateful. So without further ado, Mr. Shatner, you have the con.
Thank you, Mark. Oh, that's so sweet. He drove all the way down here to do this, to be part of this, and I really feel grateful. Paul, he was my neighbor, so I didn't know that, and we lived in the same hills in the San Fernando Valley, and I got a phone call one morning, and I answered it, and this is your neighbor, Paul was. I said, well, I got a neighbor, but I just moved in, and there's airplanes. They're flying overhead, and there's a lot of noise here. And I said, well, we're back here. I said, okay, Paul. He said, I know there's a lot of noise, and I thought I was going to be alone.
True story.
True story. So, okay, I can't stop the airplane. And one every 3 hours goes over if the wind is in the wrong direction, otherwise you can't hear it. So, he moves to another place, another canyon. And so this morning I saw him. I said, I like the place. I said, but where you're living, isn't that near that nice airport? He said, yeah, they fly over all the time. And he hadn't moved very far. I want to thank you gentlemen for being here as well. It's a ceremony. Put your hands in the cement. I was up near San Francisco the last 2 days competing in a horse show. And so a lot of salty foods, a lot of water. My hands are swollen. So I'm really afraid when I put my hands in the cement, it'll stick and I'll be like in a kneeling position for the rest of my life. Is that possible? It's not possible. Thank you all for being here, especially you. This is a whole new venture for Legion M. Wonderful company. You should look at it and examine the facts. It's really an unusual company. And I'm so proud and happy to be with it and this documentary we're making. And this ceremony this morning is really wonderful, and I'm looking forward to it. My hands, do I put my face in it wrong? Thank you all for being here. It's such a pleasure. Oh, this is it. I'm just going to put my glasses and my mask in.
So you're going to start.
It looks like a chocolate pie.
So it's a little wet still. Yeah. So don't like sign like you would on a piece of paper.
What
Just
should
kind
I
of
do?
drag it
Drag
as you're
it.
signing. And we're going to go right here across the top.
My signature.
Your signature.
Right
there.
across the top.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we're going to do that first. I have extra pins if you
Okay,
need them.
and it goes like about there?
Yep.
Look up one time.
And then we're going to your side.
Right here, Mr. Shatner.
Look up one time, Bill. Straight ahead one time.
Now then, I didn't even leave enough room for Shatner. You got a big William there, and then Shatner peters out, and that's the story of my life.
Do you want to sign it again?
I want to sign it again.
Yeah, okay.
Jose.
We can scoot right on over.
I think that Jose has got this match on. Where is the guy?
Yeah.
Just smooth it out again. Or, can we turn it around?
Well, that's where your handprints are going to go.
Right, while Jose is coming.
Jose's coming.
Jose is coming. So, while Jose is coming, this radio show that we did all those years ago with this great poet and playwright, Norman Corwin, it was being shut. Thank you, Jose, very much. And that's the story of life. You're obliterated the moment you're done. Okay. That story will never be told.
Try looking up one time.
Straight ahead, looking up there.
Right over here, sir.
Straight ahead.
One more time,
Wait a
Mr.
minute,
Shatner.
let me get the...
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
And what's over here, sir?
Okay. So, just briefly, PBS was shooting what radio was like in the 40s, and we were in the 70s or 80s, whatever it was. All the radio people who now hadn't worked for 20 years, and I who had been as a kid in radio in Canada, were accustomed to reading a script and using your voice at the microphone here. So we're sitting around a table, and PBS has all their cameras lined up, and they start shooting. This great director, Robert Cole, right there, is director. All right, Bill, a little faster, a little slower. Okay, right. And we do it, and they're shooting. Then they have to stop every 11 minutes to film. They put the new film in. They put the new film in. Another 11 minutes. And by 2 or 3 times, they've had enough, and they leave. But the radio actors didn't want to leave. So Norman continued to direct. And Norman Corwin was one of the great directors for radio. He had the CBS Philharmonic over here, 70, 80 pieces, and he'd throw them a music cue, and this swelling music would happen, and then he'd throw the sound guy, and he'd make the sound of horses, whatever it was, and then they'd throw a cue to the actor of the credit, and the sound of the credit, and it was glorious. None of that was happening. This was an empty studio. But Norman and the rest of the radio actors were living in this lost world. So PBS had gone, and we continued to perform, and somehow 3 o'clock in the afternoon seemed to be our radio broadcast. I don't know where that came from. We're in an empty studio. The mics haven't been used in 20 years. The cables lead nowhere. And I know. and we're acting like we're going on the air. PBS had long left, and that was like nostalgia. We're doing a non-existent radio show. It was very lovely. I'm glad you all were impressed by that show.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh, okay.
Let me know if there's too much pressure, but as you're doing this,
There's a great deal of pressure on you.
yeah. As we're doing this, just look up every once in a while, and you're gonna keep your hands in the cement.
I'm going to keep my hands in the
Yeah,
cement
until I go ahead and give you
until
the
you give me
cue
the signal.
to pull up.
Suck out of it.
When you do that, you're
Yes.
gonna do like this.
And look left to
What?
right,
You're
Bill.
gonna do
Show
like
it to
this.
me again. Get a picture of
Left
it.
to right, Bill.
Ready? Show me how to do that. Oh, wonderful. Okay, tell me when.
Amazing.
But
I'm
Bill,
looking
look.
up, for God's sake. That's as far as I can go. The neck is stiff, you know. You got to.
To your right as well, Bill. To your right. Right there, you go. That's smile.
Now what?
Now go ahead and
Now go and wave the
yeah.
Straight ahead, Bill. Straight ahead. One more time, Bill.
All right, throw in the towel.
In the center, Bill.
There's one more thing.
One more thing to do.
The what? The date. Okay. Are you asking for a date?
That was hilarious.
I know. Is that right? He's saying that I have my imprint in the Chinese theater in Hollywood Boulevard. And I'm doing it again. All right. So we're cementing a relationship.
Yeah.
And what?
And then today.
What's the date today?
Today's date
Is
7.
7.
22.
21. 22. Okay.
Who knows what they do?
Thank you, everybody. On this side. Okay, we're here.
I think we gotta move over a little.
Move over a little bit. Oh,
And together, guys, in the center. Paul.
thank you,
Right down the
everybody.
middle one time. There we go.
Can we get 1-2 shot?
Can you get what?
1-2 shot, you and Paul.
Can I have the speakers?
Hey, everybody,
Oh, what
quiet
they
down.
say.
What is
Can I have the speakers, please? Lenny, can we have you up, please?
All right, let's get the 2 shot first, guys. What do you get the shot? Together, guys. Let's look straight ahead.
Come on up here.
Straight ahead, Bill.
There we go. Right
Straight ahead, there it is. Straight over here, guys.
To your right, there it is.
hands together.
Thank you, everybody.
All the cosplayers, stay in the room. We're going to get a picture with you.
Paul.
Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
Hey, can we send you onto the camera just a moment? There we go. Yeah. Speakers, David, speakers.
Sorry.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Nothing can beat the power.
Can I have the cosplayers up front, please?
Cosplayers.